Namaskar. Today we'll discuss authority and responsibility. Authority and responsibility are the terms we come across during management. Management is a process consisting of planning, organizing, directing, and controlling to determine and accomplish stated objectives with the use of human resources and other resources. So there are four functions of management: planning, organizing, directing, and controlling. Organizing makes optimum use of the physical, financial, and human resources to enable successful carrying out of plans. Organizing groups the activities to be performed, divides those activities, assign duties, and delegates the authority to each so that work is carried out as planned. So this authority, responsibility all come across during organizing function. So organizing is the process of identifying and grouping work to be performed. For this, authority and responsibility have to be defined, delegated, and the relationship between authority and responsibility has to be established. Authority is the legitimate right to give orders and to get orders obeyed. It is a key to the management job. If you take an example, to assign work to an employee, a manager expects to have some authority. Then only the order of the manager will be obeyed by the employee. There are three theories to explain sources of authority: the formal authority theory, acceptance theory, and competence theory. According to the formal authority theory, authority is seen as organizing at the top of an organizational hierarchy and flowing downward therein through the process of delegation. So you can see this example from higher hierarchy to the lower, the authority moves. According to the acceptance theory, the degree of effective authority possessed by a manager is measured by the willingness of subordinates to accept it. However, this theory has limitations. A manager is not able to know whether his order will be obeyed by his subordinates, and the acceptance of an order is not the result of exercising of authority but due to leadership. As per competence theory, authority is generated by personal competence. So the manager should have some competence to exercise authority, maybe technical competence, maybe social competence, or we can say people with charisma. If we discuss the characteristics of authority, authority is legitimate right to command and control subordinates. It is granted to achieve the cherished goal of the enterprise. It is right to direct others to get things done. It is a commanding force binding different individuals, and it is delegated downwards. So you can see authority always moves downwards from the top to the bottom. If we discuss the characteristics of delegation of authority, the delegation of authority is dual in nature. A superior delegates authority to his subordinates. At the same time, he retains some authority. It helps a manager to act in a certain way independently. A manager cannot delegate authority which he does not possess himself. It may be specific or general, it may be written or verbal, and overall it is an art. The principles of delegation can be discussed under headings like functional definition, delegation of result expected, parity of authority and responsibility, unity of command, absoluteness of responsibility. Functional definition. An organization should be classified to different departments. For effective delegation of authority, there should be different departments of an organization with heads of the department. The objective of each department will contribute to the objectives of the organization. Delegation of result expected. The authority delegated should be enough to produce the expected result. Parity of authority and responsibility. Authority and responsibility should be co-equal. Once we discuss what is responsibility, we will again discuss this principle. Unity of command. A subordinate should be responsible to a single superior. Authority should be delegated from a single superior for any subordinate, so that there will be no conflict. Absoluteness of responsibility. Just by delegating the authority, superior does not become free from his responsibility. Now, power. Power is the ability to influence the action of others. It is a broader concept than authority. And power can be your legitimate power which arises from position. Power of expertness arises from knowledge. Referent power arises from belief in ideas. Coercive power, the power to punish. Reward power, the power to reward. Power is the capacity to secure dominance of one's values or goals, whereas authority is exercised by making decisions and seeing that they are carried out. Responsibility Responsibility is the obligation of a subordinate to whom a duty has been assigned to perform. The characteristics of responsibility are: responsibility is to assign duty to human beings only. Responsibility always flows upward from juniors to seniors. Responsibility is result of duty assigned. Responsibility is the obligation to complete the job as per instruction. Responsibility can never be delegated. It is personal obligation and it is absolute also. The manager remains responsible to his superiors for his job even after its delegation. So we say responsibility can never be delegated. And responsibility moves upwards. If you say what is the relation between responsibility and power, responsibility is directly proportional to power. A person who takes more responsibility becomes more powerful. So more responsibility you take, you can become more powerful. Empowerment is little different from power. Empowerment means that employees, managers or teams at all levels in the organization are given the power to make decisions without asking their superiors for permission. So without taking any permission, if you have the power to take decisions, then only we say empowerment. Many times we give the example of women empowerment. That means the day the women can take their decisions without asking for permission from their husband or from other members of the family, then only we will say they are empowered. So authority always flows downwards, whereas responsibility flows upwards. This is the basic difference. Authority and responsibility should be co-equal. If there will be an imbalance, say authority is greater than the responsibility, then this could result in autocratic behavior in the manager or the leader. So the leader will show autocratic behavior if he has more authority than responsibility. The other case, if responsibility is more but authority is less, in that case the manager will be frustrated. So frustration in manager results when responsibility is greater than the authority. So thank you.